Good talking to you guys. One of the things I want to leverage everybody that said already everything about Bittensor that I wanted to say. So I want to focus on the company and talk about what Yanez Compliance is about and we are building and we're trying to accomplish. All right, so what we're building is a AI platform for detecting and correcting issues with financial crime prevention systems. So financial crime prevention systems are things that deal with sanctions evasion, that deal with fraud, that deal with money laundering, that deal with transactional fraud and monitoring. So a little bit about my team. We founded this company in the summer of 23. I am a serial entrepreneur. This is my fourth startup. We have had many exits. My team is a very solid team. I've been working with some of them for over 15 years now. And our previous company was also in the market for financial crime prevention. We had a successful exit in 19 and then in 21. And then in 23, we started working again in a different approach to things that have to do with financial crime prevention. And that's how we started Yanez. So why financial crime prevention? First off, it's a huge problem, it's a huge market. It's a $200 billion worldwide market. Financial crime hurts, and it hurts a lot. So more than $2 trillion are associated to money laundering every year. About 400 banks in the United States only, they lose about $450 billion a year in fraud. So the regulatory pressure on top of that is huge. So banks and every financial institution, including digital currency exchanges, money service businesses, payments, and so on, they spend about $300 billion in fines in the last 15 years. And manual operations is very expensive. It's 90% of every financial institution wants to invest in automation, wants to solve the manual problem. So a little bit about the business and our business. Then we are working with financial institutions. We're working with digital currency exchanges. Our buyers are usually the compliance officers and the risk officers. Our users are compliance, auditing, testing. And we have a very clear value proposition is that we can bulletproof the risk and compliance of your team, and we can reduce the ownership of that by 10x. So in terms of competition, there are some big names in it, all outdated, all a little bit antiquated. So companies like Swift and Oracle that have solutions in this space, we are turning against them. We are also competing with companies, newer companies are AI-based as well. But we have a very unique approach in how we create and generate what we need for testing financial crime prevention systems. So what is it that we're building? So what we're building is a system that is stress testing financial crime prevention systems. So we test systems to make sure that they do what they're supposed to do. To test systems to know that that they're able to detect fraud, that they're able to detect money laundering, and so on. So what we do is we generate these synthetic data sets, and we use it in 3 different ways. So we produce data that we call the Yanez Data Intelligence. We produce those in terms of compliance and risk frameworks, and we have a very large risk scenario library that we can then play against the systems to make sure that they do what they're supposed to do. To give you an idea how that happens today, that all work happens manually. So people in these teams, in the financial teams and compliance teams, they create these data sets manually, and they actually try to test these systems manually. Regulation actually makes these teams all over the place. They have to actually do this periodically. They have to do this at least once a year to make this happen. So all in all, a normal team would spend somewhere between 6 months to do a single test on one of their systems. With Yanez, we can do that very quickly. So what we've accomplished so far, we released our first version of the product in October of 24. We already started having customers, so we have paying customers. Those are large banks, those are digital currency exchanges, those are payment companies worldwide. We believe that we're targeting the right people, and one of the things that makes us different is that we have done partnerships with many of these providers in the ecosystem so that our clients can adopt our solution very, very fast. So where does Bittensor come into play? which is the part of this that everybody wants to hear. So, as I mentioned before, the big thing about Bittensor is about the decentralization, about how you use computing power to create the core of the things that we need. So our core technology is using different AI techniques to build the data sets that we use to test the systems. So what we did was to take that technology and then put it into the Bittensor network. So we're using the Bittensor network as our R&D arm, as Greg was talking about what they are doing on their side. And we're also using to normalize the cost of operations that are associated to producing these data sets. So data generation is very costly, is geographically limited. The type of data sets that we need to generate depend also on the quality and the locality of that data. So with Bittensor, we can reach into miners, and those are scientists, and those are R&D operations all over the world that would produce the data sets with the locality needs that we require. And then Bittensor, then we are incentivized the best data intelligence, because we are, that's one of the things that the protocol does very well, is that it can promote this competition, and then it rewards based on how well do they solve a problem. It's decentralized, and for us, it significantly reduces our R&D and operational cost. So it is good for Yanez because it lowers our R&D and operations costs. It allows to enable faster innovation for us. It's good for Bittensor. Yanez is a disruptive technology in the financial crime prevention world. And I think it's good for the community. We are going to leverage many of the other subnets utilities. So we're going to be a player in the ecosystem that is leveraging not only what we're doing, but also what other subnets are doing. So what we're building is the multi-model inorganic identity data sets. We are in testnet. We've been in testnet for about 2.5 months now. So we're going into mainnet very soon. Again, the goal of it is produce the data sets to test and train anti-fraud models, sanctions evasion, and identity verification algorithms. And inorganic identities can be partially or fully synthetic. And there are different threat scenarios called for different types of identity. That means that the type of attributes that you need in these synthetic identities change from application to application, which makes it very useful in the mining world, because now I can generate and ask miners to produce different types of data sets. In terms of the roadmap, we are in the middle of 25. We are launching the Bittensor Identity Subnet. We're building transaction monitoring product for money laundering. And we are going to continue building subnets, because the type of product that we need and the type of data that we need is going to require different types of skills, and those are going to be different types of subnets that we're going to build. In terms of investment, we got our angel investment back in 23. We got pre-seed in the middle of 24, and now we're in the race for seed money. We're targeting $3 million to execute. We are about a third in our goal already. That allows us to launch the subnet, but then we need to keep racing to build the other areas of the business. All right. So why us? We have a sustainable core competency. We have something very unique in this market. We have a team that has been building B2B products for over 30 years. We are really pushing boundaries. We believe that we are a very good Web 2 to Web 3 type of company. We believe that more companies are going to start doing this, where they are leveraging decentralized AI protocols to do part of their core technology. And we are really trailblazers when it comes to the approach that we're taking to solve this problem. Thank you.